Guys, this is the mesh cap that I'm using. I got it from Amazon. That is my frontal. I did get some dye on the frontal, and I ended up just putting a powder and a little bit of well, first some cream foundation, liquid foundation, and also use a little bit of powder to try to hide that pink from up under there. I'm also lining up my frontal to make sure it's even on both sides and also leaning it forward. I had so much trouble with making this wig. My wig stand broke, and then I had to use a older wig stand that I had. I had it for a while, but I never really used it anymore. Um, So yeah, that's me sewing down the frontal. The frontal did not have a band that you can sew onto, so I ended up just going over it like 2 times, just to make sure that it was really secure. I really wish it came with that. I did get this frontal. It took a minute for it to actually get to me. Because I bought the hair first and then I bought the frontal last. Yes, didn't have the cash for it, so I had to wait. So that's me sewing it. I'm going downward, and I'm doing that loop and pull way of sewing it. So I start at the top of the frontal and I work my way to one side, and then I get another needle and I work myself over to the other side. Okay, I'm gonna just show you all the way of how I did this, because I missed the part where there was a rip in this, like this, right by the seam of the wig cap, which have never happened to me. But again, I went through a lot with making this wig. So I ended up taking the hair, what I already was sewing, took that apart, and got another wig cap, and had to sew it all over again. So yeah, I went through a lot with making this wig. So again, I start at the center and I work myself um, downward, and then I do the opposite side and I work myself downward. I don't. I stop you doing it like going across with one thread. I feel like it works better when I do it like that, and I really make sure that it's really taut and there's no lumps or anything in the frontal, and it comes out really, really smooth. Again, this frontal did not come with like a band. Usually, it's like a band you work with around that frontal, so that you're not going into the actual um, lace of the frontal, and that I had to work with what I had, and it just was lace right there. So I just sewed like I'm showing you right now, and gonna go all the way downward. I feel like the color of this hair turned out so beautifully. I messed up with getting the dye on the lace. Um, is how I um set it down when I was bleaching, not bleaching, but when I was coloring it, and it kind of just sept. I can't even say that. It went through and it got onto the lace, and I ended up having to put like my foundation. I used my MAC Face and Body foundation on it just to cover the knots where it was like super super red. But the rest I was able to just put a powder down. I feel like this frontal is kind of like um it's dense, but it's I don't know, it's just it's kind of hard. Yeah, kind of hard. Like it's not that the lace isn't really soft at all. So I'm just sewing it, and I'm working my way downward. I will show you once I get downward. And again, do not sew through the elastic band. Never do that, or your cap just will not be able to fit your head, or unless you already have like a really small head, then that works for you. Um, and there I am. I'm going through that edge part right there, and I'm just going. I'm still doing a loop and pull, and I'm just going through the that lace really, not the lace but the cap, making sure that I'm not like going right through the cap. And that's me. I'm going to finish that part off. Okay, now I'm starting off with my 20 inch after I didn't sew the other half of that frontal down. Same way I did the other side. Um, Making sure that I don't go through the elastic band on the cap. And this is ONDIBU's curly hair. It's a Cambodian curly hair. She had a sale, and I took advantage of the sale. I bought the bundles first, and then I got the frontals when it that frontal when it was available. So what I'm doing, I'm still doing the loop and pull method, but I'm doubling up right when I first start my track. I'm going through the track and doing a loop and pull. That's what I'm doing right there. And then I start on sewing the hair down. Um, with this frontal, I think this was the last time. I guess she does her frontals differently now. She has mostly closures up on her site, and the frontals are, I guess you go on Instagram and she lets you know when the frontals are available, and you'll be able to, I guess you gotta, I think she said the first of the month she would post the frontals. Once they sold out, you have to wait until the next month. I may be wrong, but if I am, please forgive me, and just check out her Instagram. I am singling my wefts. I didn't double my wefts this time. I used of 18 two bundles of 20 inch and an 18 inch frontal. It's a 13 by 6, and if you see my hair in this in that video, I have conditioner in my head. um I normally get 3 bundles, but I felt this time that I could do just 2 and it would be fine. And it did. It turned out perfectly, and it was really flat and really nice. These wefts are really amazing. Really flat, easy to work with. And this is the Cambodian curly Cambodian hair from ONDIBU. First time for me to use um, the curly hair, and it's really nice. It actually bleached really well, like amazingly well. I did not expect it to bleach that. It bleached very high, very fast, and I had to work to really fast to get it all out of the hair, get the bleach out of the hair. But it turns out really cool. Well, still sewing. I am like tongue tied, and I'm so sorry for that, but that's me. So I'm starting a needle blah, blah, a new wefted needle. I pre wefted all my needles because I just wanted to grab and go and not have to stop to actually thread all over again. Um, the needles that I got was from a beauty supply store here in Michigan. I really like these big, thick, curved needles, and I had a hard time using the smaller ones. I really like the bigger ones when I'm making my wigs. And I do use cotton thread. I do not like using nylon. I find nylon really knots up on me a lot, and it pops too. And I rather just deal with the. I was saying I would rather use the cotton thread than the nylon one. It just works for me. So I am going to single weft this all the way up until I get into my second bundle, and just taking my time with sewing. I did this one bundle, and then I got the kids off the bus and made them lunch, and I kind of chilled with them and watched cartoons. And then I later got into the second bundle. Do not go too fast because sometimes you miss mistakes, and I've learned that the hard way. So what I tend to do is that I do the frontal, and I take a break and may take another day, and then go into sewing on the actual bundles, because sometimes I didn't notice something that because I'm such if you're such in a rush, you're not noticing mistakes that you may be making. So and plus I'd be tired, so even then you make mistakes too when you're super sleepy. So just take your time. It doesn't have to be made. The wig doesn't have to be made right then and there. I felt like I took longer making this wig because how I colored the hair. Usually I make the wig and then I bleach the hair, and then I add the color, and then I style the hair. And I did all of this. I did the coloring, the bleaching and the coloring first, and then I made the wig, and then having to wait to get a whole new stand and everything. And it took a little bit longer, but it's turned out really, really good. Well, guys, since this is so repetitive, and I just want you to see everything that I'm doing, and again, I'm still doing the loop and pull, I'm just going to throw in some music and hope you enjoy.
My hands on you, boy, you feel that heat all over your body, and you're waiting for me to get it started, ooh, and your body's waiting on me, yeah. Waiting for me to put my hands on, your body's telling me I got a handle. Tell me where and how you want it. You ain't had me yet. And when we finish making sweet love, baby, come in love with me. And baby, tonight, oh, with me. Oh, baby, put your hands on me, 'cause I wanna feel good. It's the way that you grab my waist in the place that you should. Boy, you know my body is calling your name. Every night is something new. Your touch is not the same. You can be excited, surprised every day. I can't wait for you to put your hands on me, baby. Baby, I want it. I know you want it too. To put my hands on, and body's calling me, I got a handle. You hear me now? You're gonna fall in love, la 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 la. You're gonna fall in love with me, baby, yeah. You're gonna fall in love with me. You gon' want more and more, more and more, more. Precipitation fill the room. You feel the thunder rolling boom. Feel the rumble when our love collide. Skin to skin gon' make you come alive. Gotta show us in a bed tonight. Gotta show us in a bed tonight. It's coming down, ain't ready for it. It's coming down, ain't ready for it. Hope you got your coat. I'm about to make it pull. I'm gonna make it rain tonight. I'm gonna make it rain tonight. I'm gonna make it rain tonight. Rain down, rain tonight. I hear your body when it talks, telling me you don't wanna slow down. I keep it raining on and on. Whatever you wanna do, I'm gon' do it. I'm gon' do it. Are you down for it? Are you down for it? Oh, it's coming down, ain't ready for it. It's coming down, ain't ready for it. Hope you got your coat. I'm about to make it pull. I'm gonna make it rain tonight. I'm gonna make it rain tonight. I'm gonna make it rain tonight. Rain down, rain tonight.
You ready? Money flowing like water. She just love to get wet. She be running for the border, cause he ain't making her sweat. I'ma make her take a ride for it. Catch a cramp in her thighs for it. Cash out, get the dealer tags. All you gotta do is sign for it. Woo! See there? I wanna be clear. If the sun is out or the rain is pouring, I'ma be there. Push, vacate in a drop top on Biscayne. Night is young, the bottle's up. You ain't worried about another bitch name. Just which lane we swerving in to be out. I'm sweating her weave out until we done and we out. Yeah, Kiki and King Push in 3D. That's Big Bruh and Lil Sis like BB and CC. Ow!
Okay, so this is the second bundle, and I kind of missed like the middle part of getting up there, but again, I just went side to side towards the right into the frontal, or right behind the frontal, right there. Not going into it right, not going into the frontal right then and there, but just near the frontal. And still doing the loop and pull going across. Again, I really love this, the wefts of this hair. I really did. It was so flat, and it just was so easy to just to sew. I felt. Um, so I'm just taking it across and getting closer to closing it on up. Again, it only took two bundles. Um, two bundles in the frontal. I kind of figured that just two bundles would work, because some of the hair that I have got from ONDIBU, I'm like struggling to put the third bundle into the hair, and I literally like force it all in there. And I knew that, like, okay, you don't need you don't need three bundles of hair, and I proved myself right. Yeah, you don't need three bundles with ONDIBU hair. You just need two, and your frontal, you're good. I would probably do three if I was doing a closure, but it was amazing, and this color is amazing. Like, I am in love with this color, just so in love. I wasn't thinking of going that bright red. I used a Adore, was it Wild Cherry color. It turned out so beautifully, and I really I'm just in love with the color, just in love. And I'm getting knots as I get closer, and just got to take my time. Again, take your time. Gotta unravel that. So again, take your time. And like, I really had to take my time with that, because it was really knotted up really bad. So again, just take your time. And I think it's a good idea for you to pre-thread your needles. Um, just so you don't have to stop and then thread them and stuff. I also use this technique I saw on Facebook, where you take a piece of the end part of the thread where you're threading it through, and you spray it with like some hairspray, and it makes it really stiff, and it is easier for you to thread through that little hole in the needle. And I feel that works so much better than what I was doing before, because I can barely see to get it through there, and it was a lifesaver. And I was able to thread so many needles, and I still have needles that still threaded, because I bought a lot of needles from that beauty supply store, and I just stocked up on a lot of them. I really like their needles, and the guy I was buying them from, he was like, "Oh my God, that's a lot of needles." I was like, "Oh, I really like these, and I don't want to lose any, or something happen or whatever. I just wanted to have a lot of them." And he ended up giving me a free dome cap, which I used on another wig, and I still prefer the mesh cap from Amazon. I feel like they fit my head perfectly. And that's just me. I'm working my way over, going flipping over, flipping over. I didn't cut anything until I got to the top part, and just taking my time, going one side, flipping it over until I was ready to close this on up. And I can't say just so many good things about um, these wefts. Like, I am in love with these wefts. The frontal was like, the lace I felt was a little hard, but all in all, it still worked out really well. I wish it had the band um, on it that I could sew onto the sew the frontal down, but it still I still worked it out. I really liked it, and I feel like this unit was really flat, and it usually it's a little, I won't say bulky because I had so much hair in it. I feel like um, it just looks really nice and flat. That's all I can say. I really dig this unit a lot. Okay, and now this is me closing it on up. I hope this was a good video for you. I really enjoyed making it, but it took so long, and I really didn't. I really had to fight myself to make sure that I have good camera angles for you to see. I feel like this angle right here was a little far away, but I had to change different lenses just so that you can get a little closer to see what I was doing. But yeah, I am doing the loop and pull. Um, I think this is right before I'm going to close that up. Yeah, I think it's right before. And yeah, if you want me to do more videos like this, I will. Just leave comments below. Um, I will work my way through this if this is what you want. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this wig. I really love this wefts. And I hope this was educational for anybody that wants to know how I make my wigs. And yes, I do make my wigs. I do not I don't send them out to other people to make them. I've been trying to trying to perfect the way I make my wigs for like a very long time. And I really enjoy making the wigs. It feels therapeutic for me when I sit and sew um, my wigs. So I am so happy that I was able to show you this. I think the last one I made was a very long time ago. It was a complete fail. And I feel like I did a lot better this time around. So yeah, I'm just rambling till I can get to the end because this is the end part. I'm gonna flip that track over and then sew it down to the frontal, and that's it. So thank you for watching, and keep coming back. Bye to next time, and thank you for watching. So, and thank you to my new subscribers and my old, and happy New Year.